Good evening. This is CEN, the Collective Entertainment Network. On tonight's broadcast, we will be continuing our journey in the world of Azria with the Dragon Treasure miniseries. I am joined tonight, of course, by my usual players of John, Rose, Ray, and Flaming Skull, which should be replaced by Brian here in a short amount of time. With that, if you like what you see, you like what we're doing, hit that like and subscribe button, and continue and join us as we continue on in with this story. With that said, let us begin tonight's episode of Dragon's Treasure. Cueing intro.
The music's so catchy.
And we're back.
Having lost our homeland to the newly named Dragon Menace, I, Herhith Runebringer, youngest and last living son of Hersek Runebringer, king of Chrysopeia, may the saints embrace him, have led those who I can to the mining outpost Sial. Fearing pursuit from the Red One, we have established what defenses we can and sent word to the cities of the West, and I fear the cities of the Eastern Crown have already been lost. We have since encountered the outcast, the druid who was once a dwarf, who despite his previous crimes, have offered his services to the Dwarven Kingdom. He shall erect a barrier of green, not of stone or magic, but of fungus and moss, of sporing plants whose dust shall be like death to the invaders. Though slow in growth, they shall provide us protection and death even to the mightiest of these so-called dragons. Should this succeed and our people be saved, as the last remaining Runebringer and now king and leader of the Dwarven people, I shall name the druid as a saint, and shall command a druidic order be established after him, that the saint of druids may live forever among us as our hero. I pray to those who have gone before, both saints and the line of my fathers, that we may live to see the day that justice be brought upon these dragons, where they will be choked from their sky, their bodies shattered upon the mountains, where axe and blade shall drink their fill, and the dead shall be avenged. Journals of King Hurith Runebearer, first king of Sial, roughly year 305 to 307. Last time, you all began your investigation into the city, making your way into the Green District, posing as a group, celebrating a recent haul in the hopes of catching the attention of those truly responsible for the theft of Kara's vault, calling yourselves by various colors just as the thieves from Sienna's Vision had done. After Einar drank the clients of a local bar under, and Saren, disguising himself as a half-dragon, became the godfather to several goblins and orcs, you encountered Litany Zenobia, an actual green half-dragon daughter of the Green Sovereign Septima. Letting her sort of do the mental work of connecting the dots on her own, she decided to grant you information about your possible quarry, but made clear that she would be watching from a distance. Following the name she gave you, you were guided to Grodd, a dwarf, or at least a former one, living in the city amongst the goblin folk. Through visions and empathy, you were able to convince Grodd to help you, giving you directions to what apparently was a crack in the grand cavern wall of a demiurge, located in the Forge District, a Dragonborn exclusive area, where presumably the thieves have quite possibly managed to flee the city. With that, we return you having just stepped out of Grodd's house. Einar is apparently a little bit quiet for the moment, but the day is yours. How do you wish to proceed?
Well, we were given a location, and I think that we were told to hurry. So that would be our best course of action, is to hurry that way as much as we can. Um, how are you on strength? I don't believe either of you have tapped into your abilities, correct?
I'm
No, I'm
doing
okay.
just fine.
The problem still becomes, though, is that it's a Dragonborn only area, and only two of us look like Dragonborn. Two of us look nothing like a dragonborn. I'm not even the right height.
And I have fur.
So while hurrying is good, if we get there, what are we going to do when we get there?
Well, the first idea I have is a terrible idea, and we shouldn't do that.
I thought you turning into a half-green dragon was a terrible idea, and look where we are. So, let's hear it.
We could murder two dragonborns, and you could wear their skull and skins.
Yes, terrible idea.
As I said.
I'm thinking maybe we lean into your green half-dragonness and Einar's dragonbornness, and us non-dragons are aide-de-camps, servants of some type.
I think that's
I
a
could,
smarter choice.
I could try to go unnoticed as well.
Yes, you could try, yes, if that's something in your skill set you feel comfortable with.
Are you skilled at being forgettable?
Yes, elven magic.
Gross.
I, unfortunately, am quite memorable.
Yes, you look like you walked out of a painting or a sculpture.
It comes from the man who came walking out of a military history book. So,
I meant it in the greatest of ways. Let's see here. I have this. Well, it's quite confidential, and he leans in close to you and he goes, but it causes the shadows to wrap around you. It's a special. Well, it's a special rock that we harvest deep within the Imperium. And whenever you break this rock, it helps you to pass without trace.
that could be useful.
If your plan is to be unseen, that will help you to be more forgettable than you naturally are.
Just as a reminder as well, you guys also have at least access to Violet, who Saren had very cleverly teleported away when Litany asked to have Violet be destroyed. So you do have access to Violet if you are looking for additional information. Just putting that out there for you guys.
Also, I can call Violet to come help us. I don't believe that we should meet her in person, but a thought connection between the two of us. She might, I mean, she knows this city infinitely better than I do.
That could be a good thing, that we could find some information on our way to our destination.
Theros, do you think you would fit in a crate or a barrel?
I'm 7 feet tall. It'd have to be a big one.
I like where your thinking's going. We need fish.
Yes.
Mind you, this is a male lion, giant mane, 7 foot tall, 500 pounds.
So it'll weigh the same as a barrel of fish. We stick you in the barrel, we cover the top with raw fish or pickled fish. It's even smellier, so they won't dig in it. Then we close the barrel and we pretend that we're moving the barrel somewhere important.
This is really the best course. I won't be happy, but we could do it.
The ideas are getting progressively better as we get more and more of them, because the first idea was terrible. I saw it coming, and it was just horrible.
Well, let's look into the fish and barrel technique. Um, at a minimum, I think we should start moving that direction.
I agree, let's go. And while we go, I would like to reach out to Violet and give a full, Well, first I'm going to say, Theros, are there any details that you think would be better left unsaid to Hot Links?
The fact that we're working with Litany.
Yes.
You don't want to give him a heads up on that first?
It's
I
difficult.
feel like if we're ahead of it, it'd be a wave that we can ride. But if we're behind it, then we're going to look untrustworthy or incompetent.
You ride that wave, Saren, and I'll suntan on the beach while I watch.
Did you just say you want to watch me at the beach?
Theron just charms everybody. Is your class actually barred? Did you change this and not tell me?
Dragons are charisma casters.
Until otherwise stated.
I think it could be wise to inform him that Litany knows that something is going on.
I think that it would be wise to tell him that Litany watches him so carefully that she knew when he was 15 minutes late.
Yes, I think that would be a good detail, but I think now it should give him enough information to know that he needs to be ahead of some rumors. We can give him the full details as of later, just enough so he can try and get ahead of it. I like this idea. It's a good press.
All right, let me get this sending stone. And DM, I'm going to pull out it between you and I without the other players hearing. This is a regular ass rock.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't let them know that I'm telepathic. Then the request will never stop. So.
I know, everyone just keeps asking you, hey, can you communicate with so-and-so? Just let them know that they need to pick up my laundry, you know.
Hey, can you check on the dry cleaning? It's like people with cell phones, right? I don't want to be AT&T.
Hey, I think I left the stove on, but I'm a little occupied. Can you go stop by my house that's 3 miles out and just check?
Caspian Wireless? No, we're not playing that game. So I pull out my sending stone. And I would like to pretend that it's a sending stone. So I'm going to use the magic words for sending that I absolutely do not know. Because I'm not a caster like that. I'm going to say, Sendo Messagicus.
Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily think at this point in time anyone has any reason to feel suspicious of you. Does anyone feel suspicious? I don't think anyone really feels suspicious at this time. So I'm gonna say it may seem strange.
Suspicious until I say Sendo Messagicus.
I'm gonna say you could easily enough fake this. You aren't new at this sort of thing.
But then I'm going to update the bird.
All right. Without needing to get into too much RP, Violet's acknowledge it. So you're telling them that Litany is aware that something's up.
I'm definitely stressing the point that Litany follows Otlinks' movements so closely that she knew when he was a mere 10 minutes behind schedule. Gotcha. And acted on that.
So he's definitely that is definitely passed on to Violet, who then gets that passed on to Otlinks, who then relays that he is grateful for your making him aware of things and keeping him abreast of the situation. He emphasizes that in that circumstance, Violet and himself will try to keep their distance, especially if she seems to have made contact, just to avoid suspicion of any kind. But that they are available for any information you may need.
Perfect. I will tell them that. The only thing I don't mention is the name of the dwarf. I don't want to finger that dwarf because he's trying. I'm not going to say, oh, this is pervy uncle dwarf, whatever, Grodd in the Green District. I'm going to say there was someone in the Green District who pointed us in the right direction. They had contact with the thieves, and in exchange for the information, they paid for anonymity.
And there's a bit of Violet says that Otlynx has a little bit of tension in his voice, but he definitely his priority is on recovery of the objects, and that the uh, the middlemen are not his biggest concern.
And then I'll say, look, at the end, I'll be more than happy to tell you the guy's name. I just don't want him to get visited by bruisers right after we leave the house. That makes us look bad.
Violet acknowledges this and says, "Don't worry, I'm on it. Noise. I've been working Otlynx for years. I know exactly what's going on. Don't worry."
And then I will tell them our fish plan.
Okay.
The stinkiest pickled fish in the Green District is what we need.
um.
And this is all while we're walking.
Yeah. So you have two different possibilities. Violet offers two different abilities. Might be able to get some fish from some of the goblin marketers there in the Green District. It's going to be primarily cave fish.
Because goblins love pickles. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Exactly. Anything that's the color green at this point. Uh, alternatively, it might be difficult to get it through the Green District. However, she does say that you might check the tent assembly, and there may be someone out there who is possibly selling river fish or and such from outside of the city, and you might be able to luck out. Also, she says to save her a herring if you can find one.
I will pass that along to those two, and I will say I've I've used quite a bit of fortitude maintaining this disguise over the course of the entire day. Um, would you be able to handle things without me for the next hour or so?
I don't
I
think
think I
we
can.
have. I don't know if we have the time.
Well, I figured it would take about an hour to secure the fish and get them ready for transport.
No, that will put us behind in our pursuit in an hour. But if we think that's the best course to get into the more stricter Dragon Ball district, then we should.
I'm all for storming the gates, but if you want to take a more subterfuge route, this is probably the best one that we have.
What do you think, Aina? Hiding me in a barrel full of fish, or attempting? Uh, Sienna and I are aide de camp to servants of two, one half dragon and one dragonborn to get into the Forge district.
So just to bring you up to date, Brian, you guys have left Grod's house. You guys are making your way through the Green District. They have come up with a plan of doing some sort of a fish delivery to be able to sneak in Theros and Sienna into the Green District, or not the Green District, I'm sorry, the Forge District, um, to which they're trying to decide on which source they want to use, or what was your guys' other idea? It was just escorting the half dragon and then the full blood dragon or the proper dragonborn.
Yep, the other one was they just act like they're our servants, our aides, or whatever. They're our entourage as we walk, as we march straight through the district and don't listen to questions.
I like that one because it doesn't waste food.
We could still eat the pickled fish, or at least anyone who'd like pickled fish. I'm certain some garbage cat somewhere would be more than happy to tear into it.
Oh, and also you guys do just for Brian's sake, you guys do have access to Violet if there are any questions you guys wish to ask about the area.
And we had talked to Violet and by extension Otlynx about the plans that we were coming up with, and they thought that that was a good course of action. The fish barrels, and they told us where to find some fish and such. And so I had
Uh,
asked Sienna and Sir Theros if they could secure the the barrels by themselves over the next hour or so while I recouped.
Also, if you guys want, you also have the map, which is up on the Roll20 of the city. Again, the mask shows where you guys are presently at, which is over in the Green District. And again, any other questions you guys have, feel free to ask.
And as a reminder, we're trying to get to like here, right?
You're trying to get, so yeah, it would be somewhere in the Forge District. The exact location is, yeah, like somewhere right back in here.
All right, that's what I thought.
Behind a steam bathhouse.
And so it looks like from this map that there's a big gate that sort of keeps the Forge District to itself, and the rest is naturally walled off by like cave walls and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we can arguably say because you guys did pass for the tent assembly, you guys noticed this gate. The gate does not match the dwarven architecture that you've seen, and you have a feeling this has been built by the dragons and the dragonborn. But yes, it is to basically divide the Forge District from the rest of the city.
But yeah, so we have the fish in the barrel idea. And the other idea is that I can do pass without trace, and they tried to be very sneaky. Though sneaking in the middle of the day through a gatehouse, a guardhouse, is going to be very difficult.
To be fair, this is still as a reminder, this is a city that is underground. There is thorough lighting everywhere, but honestly, you would be better to think of this as a city at night. City in perpetual night.
None of you would happen to have a bag of holding or something along those lines, would you?
I don't think anyone took that as their magic item.
A handy haversack, and Sienna's secretly a contortionist? Sir Theros, a contortionist?
Einar, you look over at Einar. He's eating the pickled fish.
Randomly has pickled fish.
Since it looks like the tent city is on our way to the Forge District, I think we should go there and look for some while you're resting.
Another possibility is I could fling you in between some distance. But that would really sort of be a last resort, I think. It'd be very taxing on both you and I, but I could, theoretically, throw you about 250 feet in between sight.
Ray,
Your
your
voice
mic's
isn't
off.
coming through.
Let's pursue the fish idea. And we could use the throw as an emergency.
One might say a warping vortex.
Yes, that's
Okay.
See, the Imperium has equipped me with this very special ammunition that does all kinds of weird stuff. And all I have to do is shoot you.
I was
What?
100% on board with that plan until you said that last bit.
John, do you want to describe what Caspian's gun sort of looks like?
Yeah,
Is it a
sure.
hunting gun?
Hold on. So I've got the picture. Did I ever put that picture in Discord, though?
I don't know if it did. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't checked that. Is it in general?
Did.
No.
I think it's in self promo. I did it when I put the Caspian pictures up. But oh yes, there it is. It is on the Caspian picture that our resident artist pulled out. But it's a very fine pistol. It looks like the handle's made with an inline of pearl, and the most of the barrel seems to be made out of silver itself. It has an ornate action on top that assists in aiming, but but it's an 8-shooter instead of a 6-shooter. I don't know
Okay.
how familiar your characters are with guns, but I know that both of you are quite familiar with revolvers, as well as our viewers. So it is very much a revolver.
Very nice.
And it definitely looks like if you were to make something magical, this is what it would look like. All right. So in the meantime, you guys make your way back into the tent assembly. There's just as you previously saw it, there's a lot of hubbub going on, a lot of people who are doing negotiations, a lot of trade that is occurring. Some people are meeting, some people are talking. There's that same group located near the statue towards the center of the tent assembly who look like they're doing a rally. There's still just a lot of activity. This is a very, very lively area.
Start
As
looking.
we're getting close,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we're getting closer, I'm going to, since I'm feeling lucky, I'm gonna use chaos theory, and have it to where we're gonna happen upon the fish dealer that's maybe drop the price a little bit because they might be going rancid a little bit soon, so we need to get rid of them as quick as possible. So it's like that clearance deal when you see at the bakery shelves where their best buy date is coming up soon, and that's the fish we're gonna encounter. Because I'm feeling pretty lucky today.
Yeah. So once again, you see that display of threads suddenly appear, suddenly spread out before you, and you're drawn to this one thread. Almost looks like it's got like like a sort of greenish mist coming off of it. Almost like it's kind of like what you see with sometimes with clothes when they're drying in the sun, steam kind of starts rising off of them. Like this one, it's green. So you kind of pluck it and you feel a sort of griminess on your fingers, and then that thread shoots off uh, to the crowd, and you kind of follow it along, and you're able to spot what looks like a centaur. Just sort of just like desperately trying to get into conversation with a minotaur nearby.
I'm gonna start just sort of focusing myself. I'd like to start a short rest.
Okay. You go and you kind of sit and you find a nice quiet spot where you can kind of just center yourself. Easy enough to do. Looks
People
like
watching.
yeah, some of the dwarven statues around the edge that have been defaced or crumbled. Some of them have sitting areas that have been set up around them, and there's some people who are just sort of chilling around on the outskirts, and you're able to go and kind of join them. Um, but regardless, you have your lead, Sienna.
I'm gonna go up to that location and see if I can talk to him into buying it. While he's hopefully distracted deep in this conversation he's trying to get in with this minotaur.
As you approach, it's like, look. Typically, yes, we would have gladly been here 5 days ago, but it's been very, very cool. You know, they're still good, and honestly, it's still cool outside as well. I mean, it's gonna be a real easy trek for you to. No deal. Last time we did this, my kids got sick. We're not doing this again. I'm sorry, but you're out of luck here, man. I'm sorry. But.
Hello. You look a little bit down on your luck. I think I might be able to help.
Really, wait. You're a human.
Yes.
Are you
Do
a
you have,
Are you a human, or are you, one of them? He says he points at the group of people who are over at the rally.
I don't bite.
Okay. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but, I, my cousin heard about a guy who was a centaur. He got bit, and it just was really weird. Too many limbs. Anyway,
He got bit and he turned into a human every moon.
like
Oh,
losing legs is weird, and then he turned
aware
back, and
human?
it's even weirder. Regardless, what can I do for you? Would you like some fresh fish?
Yes, I would. Actually, I'm
Really?
looking for some
Well,
fish.
top of the line fish here, may I say. Freshly caught only a week ago. Very, very nice, high quality, very fatty sort of fish. Got that nice oomph to them. You should know that we both salt and pickle our fish as well, so they are in top-notch quality for at least another week. I guarantee.
Einar comes over and takes a bite out of one of the fish.
Hey, that's Prada.
They
It's
turned
fine. I'll
3 days
purchase it
ago.
all.
Okay, fine. Yes, they're bad. Yeah, fine, whatever. I'm sorry. I was hoping to do some business. I'm sorry. If you
There's
want
some
Clive
money
over
on the
there,
counter still. I'm just no, it's fine. Exactly what I was looking for, and I put it on the counter.
what do you put down on her?
Stack of money on the counter for him. I don't know anything about fishing. Then just hand him a bag.
Are you with the guard? Because if you're with the guard, you have to tell me.
No, I'm just looking for some fish. And does it look like I know anything about fishing? This should be enough, right?
Slides it over. Do you need any transport for it?
Yes, the largest box you have, please.
Great. I've been trying to get rid of this
No,
box for a while. Do
great.
you do you have do you mind if it's a little bit on the rotting side? Honestly, I've been trying to get rid of it. I'd gladly get rid of it for free. They don't really care for trash sort of stuff just lying around here.
That's
It's
actually
not even good as
perfect.
firewood. Perfect. All right. Uh,
Well, while
brings
you're doing
out.
that, why don't you go ahead and throw in the delivery to our destination?
I don't really do deliveries.
No, but you know somebody.
Yeah. If you want to talk to who is it?
No.
Marcus. Oh
You can
no.
talk to. We bought the fish and your box, and you're making out instead of losing entirely.
No. I get that. It's just Marcus who helps out with my transporting. He's talking to the bitey people. Um, it might be a bit. Well,
Do I not
regardless.
look like I'm bitey?
No. The bitey people. You know, the people who become furry and go bitey. The the werewolves. Look, I'm not one to judge. It's just my other cousin on my mother's side got completely ripped apart by them before. They're a little dangerous. Honestly, that kind of freaks me out that they let him here.
They 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 look like they're fine right now.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, look, I can't really go over there, but if you want, go talk to Marcus. He's the centaur over there. He's talking to. Ooh, she's pretty. Maybe I. No, I can't. If you want, he's the one talking to the elf over there. He'll be able to help you out. Nevertheless,
Thank
you have
you.
secured a crate. It is incredibly. It looks like it'll give you a disease on touching it. It's just rotted. Uh, it's got. You're not sure if it's the wood decaying or if some sort of gooey fungus has decided to infest it. But
I really
it is.
don't feel like getting in that fish box.
And then the fish themselves, it's very intense smell, despite the pickle and salt. There's a very intense smell.
The box is so rotted though, you'd be able to break out of it with no problem though. That's why I like this box. It's not going to take you a while to break out of it if you have to for some reason.
I wasn't worried about that at all. This fishy smelling box could carry a disease. And you want me to
I
go in there
I got
and root
something for
around
you.
a little bit and hang
You're not
out?
sure if it's a
Did you
trick of
guys
the
just
light.
accidentally find a kimchi salesman?
You're not sure if it's a trickery of the light, but one part of one of the boards almost looks like it's pulsing.
It's moving.
Probably just a trick of the light.
It's moving. The box itself, by itself, without anyone trying, it's moving.
No, it's not. That's just the maggots on the side of it.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, I got something, and I dig through my bag, or my keg, and I pull out a bear traveler's clothes like cloak, and I grab some on my rope, and I kind of make like a bag that can kind of sit on top of them, It won't cover all of you, but it'll cover your top part.
Um, he leans in close. I know. Can I have a conversation with Pint, please?
Yeah. Hey.
Pint crawls out.
Pint.
Hey.
Pint, my good sir. Do you see that fish box? I have to go in it. I don't want to remember going in it. You're the man for that job.
Get the
Drops
Wednesday.
down, pulls out a big mallet.
No. Get the Wednesday special.
Drops back down, pulls out a small little glass vial.
It's best not to take sips. Just go for it.
I don't want to be completely useless. I just want to be
Oh,
okay with being in the fish box.
you'll be okay. You'll be okay with a lot of things. By the way, there's a little cork on the side, so when you start drinking, you take that cork off. It'll go down real quick.
All right. Once we get a little closer to go time, I will.
You have your bottled modified memory.
That
Quote.
that you shotgun.
um Regardless, you have you get your box, you get a the fish dealer is able to provide you with a small cart. um you are able to get inside it. Eventually, Marcus eventually leaves the very attractive looking elf over at the with the werewolves and comes on over. Things are explained, and you guys are set up for attempting to at least carrying this horrible, disgusting fish box through the gate into the Dragonborn only area.
Perfect.
So, regardless, um, do you guys still have time? If you wish, you can join in on the short rest if you would like, as far as being able to recoup if you feel the need to.
um,
As Caspian is still taking his short rest, not his long rest.
Sir Theros is fine. He needs to distract himself a little bit. Um, since he is, fur-based creature, he's gonna get close to the bitey people, the lycanthropes, just kind of listen in on what they're kind of talking about.
Okay. Um, Regardless of what you might imagine being occurring, um, it's not quite what you would expect from werewolves or lycanthropes, is depending upon how you wish to refer to them. Um, but for some of them, it's they are a lot of them are sharing their story. Some of them, it's a story of how they were born a lycanthrope and they were shoved off into the woods. Others, it was they were bitten at a very, very young age and were caged by their family until they were able to escape. Others tell stories of loved ones who were the ones who bit them. Some of them, the elven woman who you find out is actually a priestess of Lycan, shares a story of her husband who had been bitten and how she had joined the priesthood to be close to him, to help him, to support him in his endeavors to gain control of his madness. Um, and you, being a worshiper of Panthera, the sun god, know some of the stuff dealing with the goddess Lycan, the goddess of the moon. How when the werewolves, when the were disease first appeared in this world of Azria, how she, um, despite this disease being something that at first defamed her, a disease that causes those who are in the moonlight to become monsters. Of course, people would blame the goddess of the moon, but Lycan chose instead to adopt the lycanthropes, the werebeasts, to claim them as her own people, to give them peace from their own madness, from their own insanity caused by this disease. And there's there's a touch of a religious feel almost to this rally, but a lot of it is some people telling stories of how they have felt that they were wronged by the outside world and how they came to Demiurge for the purpose of being accepted as the ostracized, as the unwanted people. Um, and it's a different perspective than what you might expect. You kind of understand their slogan of "We're monsters on the inside too" to mean we're people who are hated by the outside as well.
Impressed with this enlightened view of I am both.
Hmm. Uh, but regardless, you listen to some of these stories. Some of them have a wide variety of different things that have occurred, and there are some who are listening, and by the sound of it, they're doing this rally because they are seeking not only acceptance but even support for their endeavors and for their position within the city, to be seen as something other than just humans from the outside, as well as not to be viewed as weapons to be used.
Right. He likes what he hears, and
Yeah.
eventually kind of wanders back to the group once uh, the captain is done resting.
Mhm. All right. So, you guys, is there anything else anyone wishes to accomplish during this short rest? No. Uh, Sienna, can I have you make a perception check for me?
Yes. 24.
Over the course of this short rest, as you are, gathering yourself, there's at one point where you notice a figure in the crowd. A tall, almost gentlemanly dressed figure. However, his face is obscured. Um, he carries a cane, and again, very gentlemanly clothes, gloves. Um, his face is just, no matter how much you would look at it, you can't seem to make it out. It is obscured by the shadows of his hood, but you feel his eyes on you, nevertheless. Never approaches, but just seems to watch you. With that, um, your short rest passes. You are all gathered up again. Whatever effects that you guys recover, whatever abilities you guys recover on a short rest, you recover, and you are all set for whatever you wish to plan to do.
Well, I guess it's time to get in the fishy box.
It somehow looks worse.
Sir Theros, I have a feeling that over the course of your heroic journeys there will be many unpleasant things that won't be easy to accomplish, and this won't rank among the top of them. You're going to perform magnificently. Get in the box.
You're quite right. It it is rank. Plunk.
You you get in the box. The Even through the sort of like bottom that Einar has been able to supply you with, this nice clean leather bottom, you can feel the boards are squishy underneath it.
Uh,
And you're
What about
you're
Sienna?
what are you guys doing with for Sienna?
I'm gonna say, hold on 1 second, and as after Theros is in the box and covered, I'm gonna walk off somewhere discreet, and I'm gonna open my grandmother's spell book to disguise self, and then come back.
Okay.
Only after
What do you
Theros is in
return
the
as?
box, though.
What do you return as?
A red dragonborn would be the
Oh,
easiest, probably.
okay. Shortly after Sienna walks away, a red dragonborn approaches you all.
All right, let's go. And I just start walking with the cart.
Excuse, but who's that?
Did we just get robbed, or was that the delivery man?
We're going
I
to be
don't
late. We
know
have to be
you.
on time.
There's
What?
slime.
We have a
Wait.
schedule to keep, and we need to get a move on. Let's go. I just keep walking with the cart.
I follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I'm following, I'm like kind of like digging into the keg, and then I'll do like the little knock, like, hey, Bubbles, you're gonna have a lot of work ahead of you.
You then recall that Bubbles remained back at the Frostwatch in the bathtub.
Uh-oh.
But Loaf pops up and
no.
says, "Don't worry, dear. I'll leave a note for her."
You might want to make some of your special cupcakes.
Oh dear. I need to get some ingredients. I'll meet you guys back at the fortress. I'll get myself some cooking. And Loaf hops out and runs off into the crowd.
It's just everybody's just leaving.
Don't worry, Einar. I will stand at your side forever, no matter how you feel about it.
Side note: Pogo's been missing since like you guys first got off the elevator.
No,
Yeah,
Pogo
that's how
stayed. Pogo stayed up top.
Oh, okay. He stayed up top. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you guys had brought him down with you.
No, he stayed up top.
All right. Um. So we have Einar, who's already a Dragonborn, Sea Dragonborn. We have Sienna disguised as a Red Dragonborn. Excuse me. Have you once again donned your half dragon prince? Your half dragon prince.
Yes, I look like Omelette.
Okay. I'm gonna say the lost Zenobian. Theros, you are very thoroughly covered in fish, and you're pretty sure something is licking you.
The fur. You're gonna need so much conditioner.
Regardless, you guys make your way with Marcus the Centaur, pulling your guys' cart with your fish up to the gate. There are several actual red dragonborn guards here. One of whom steps forward, says, "State your business, Lord Zenobia. We were not expecting one of you to be." He's also speaking in Draconic, as a side note. We were not expecting any of the siblings from the Green Sovereign to be joining us, or any of the children of the Green Sovereign to be visiting today.
Spontaneity is an unfortunate side effect of dealing with my siblings.
I see. Well,
I was tasked and pulled the short straw, as it were, to come ensure that this delivery goes off without any hitchings.
And where exactly are you going with this delivery?
He knows, and I point at Sienna.
He knows.
Looks at you expectantly.
Oh crap. Let's see. It's rancid fish. There's a very important person. I think that. There's a very important person in the city. We must not delay. There's a building, and I start just random blocks. Like 3 blocks to the left, the 4 blocks right was all the directions I was given from the from the buyer. It's a surprise. We gotta go. We gotta go now. We're gonna be late.
You're delivering smells like rancid fish to the salon?
Yes, that's the surprise. Look, the people use the fish scales to exfoliate their scales. Okay, it's supposed to be really good for your calf muscles as well. Don't question it. It's from the other side. It's a new beauty trend. Okay, just I don't do it. I just follow what I'm told, and this is what I'm told.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
I'm actually kind of good at those, luckily.
Yeah, that was also very well done.
I would like to use a fate point to reroll that though.
Okay.
15.
Okay. He looks at you is like, "Oh, okay. Certainly. Rather unusual. But yes, nevertheless, open the gates. Uh, do you require a receipt of any kind to let them know that you pass through here, or?
I look at up the Zenobian half dragon man with us. Do you think we need one? Does he need one?
Right, right. Um, carry on. Steps out of your way. Doors, gates open. You guys are able to proceed forward without a hitch. Theros, there is something running down the inside of your leg.
Young man, I don't know who you are, but that was marvelous.
I'll bow and just stand back up.
You hear very gentle whimpers from the box.
Did that box just whimper? Nah, it's probably just a sound like fish make. All right. Regardless, you guys are now inside the Forge District. Uh, from here forward, how would you like to proceed? Do you want to keep up keep up the ruse?
I think
I
that
have
we
this
should
first.
go to the back roads so as to not draw attention. Um, and then, if we do draw attention to the back roads, I can just start yelling at you at the red young man about getting us lost.
Sounds good. I'm an actor, and I just all that time with Rouge.
Is the forge district like warmer? Do they have like a lot of forges?
It is actually considerably warmer here.
So
Even
the,
I
the
mean,
smell would be getting more intense.
within the city of Demiurge, you were first and foremost surprised by how warm the city is in the first place. Now that you are within the Forge District, you're able to see very plainly why this cavern as a whole is so warm. And if you look at the map, it is because of this gargantuan building towards the back. Um, Standing almost like a giant palace, there is heat and smoke rising from the top. It is a massive forge palace. And this is essentially those of you, if you were to be familiar with dwarven history, this is the forge of the dwarven saint. This is honestly one of the holiest sites to all of dwarven kind. Is this building at the far back? Um, and as Violet updates you, it is also where Lyson Crassus makes his home.
Don't explode it. I understand.
Yes. But no, the district in here is much warmer. It is less varied, obviously, in its occupation, in who occupies it. There are numerous dragonborn of a variety of both colors, including even metallics. A few gems might be found. A few gem dragonborn might be found here. None of the islander subraces will be seen here. So you do somewhat stand out, Einar, but thankfully you're the color blue, so you're kind of okay. But there are a variety of people here. It is not so much that there is a sheer number of forges. There are numerous smithies that are here, variety of craftsmen, ringsmiths, silversmiths, blacksmiths, swordsmiths, axesmiths. Um,
So
Side
the
note: when you get into it, there's a large variety of smiths. There is no such thing as a smith who is a practitioner of everything. You have a variety of smiths who practice all sorts of different arts.
so
Um,
so the
Are
fish
any
are
of
cooked.
them agents?
any of them? I'm sorry. Oh, Agent Smith. There's a guy over there who's tailoring a suit and a pair of glasses.
There's a man over there.
Uh,
There's a smith making a smith.
but you are able to notice too however, that the majority of the guards here are red dragonborn. While you're also standing there, the centaur who's been listening to this conversation kind of looks back at you guys over his shoulders, like, "Wait, am I involved in something illegal?
Yes.
Absolutely.
God damn it!"
But the money's good, and all you have to do is say that you know as much as you know, which is nothing.
Okay. Uh, when do I get payment? How much am I being paid?
I found this old dirty electrum in the sewer.
Oh God, I'm gonna get killed for nothing. Okay. Well, if you guys are making to the side streets, and I don't want to be here any more than I have to, should we just toss the cart and I can leave?
You want me to throw the cart off the edge?
Uh, Actually, I know an edge where it might be appreciated. I mean, the Green District, I mean, the goblins, I'm sure, would be all over this stuff.
Well, let's let's offload this fish.
Okay. Where do you guys offload it? Are you just offloading it at some random location? Are you just dumping it in an alleyway?
Can we leave it in front of a rich person's house?
No, I want to leave it in front of a really hot smithy. Because it will clear the area so no one will be watching.
Make a make a perception check, Einar.
Fish under the mountain.
Oh, outstanding. That is a 26.
Yeah, you're like, hey, that guy there. That guy, I can kind of tell by what he's working on. That is going to be probably the hottest forge in the entire area. You guys carefully make your way around. You drop off the fish around the backside, near the backside of the smithy, where it'll accumulate heat, but it'll also be out of sight. Marcus thanks you, and he leaves. He books it.
You know, one thing I find interesting throughout all this was that centaur was allowed in here in the Dragonborn only district, and we didn't have to hide him in a barrel of fish. Maybe we could have just walked everyone in.
Yeah.
But this was so much more fun. Now, come on, Catfish, and I start like knocking on the box. Out.
Do Tabaxi like fish? Is he
He's-
still a Tabaxi?
He's not a tabaxi.
And also the bottom of the cart just collapses and you hear a squishy thud. Oh,
Oh, that
Um,
smells even worse.
Theros, you don't know if anyone will ever want you as a bride anymore.
he stands up, goes to his chest, wipes the fish and guts off. Let's go. Never speak of this again.
Were you snacking in there?
No, it did get in my mouth, but it wasn't willing.
There's one that has, of course, managed to suction itself to his backside.
I won't tell your pogo.
I take it off And
Does it sting a little as he pulls it?
Oh, there's definitely like the fur has this. There's this night lace white ring where the fur is just like all like suctioned into the fish. You have the feeling that one may not have been dead.
it is now. Einar's eating it.
So the steam house bath is this way, right? And he just walks towards it. He's leaving this shame behind him the best he can.
DM, would you say that upwind would be behind Theros or in front of Theros? Because I definitely want to be upwind.
It doesn't bother me.
Upwind would
It's
be
no
like a little bit behind him. Yeah.
Then I will walk a little bit behind him. I'm going to hold my breath.
With the
Theros.
with the freshly violated Theros freed from his prison. Hey, there you go. You have a phobia now.
Hey, Theros.
Fish prison.
No matter how much you wash your clothes and get them all pristine, or even buy them, you'll never wash off all that shame.
These clothes are getting burned.
Shame stains.
But it's deep in the mane. A week from now, you're going to pull a fish scale from your mane, and you're going to remember this. I see it.
To the bathhouse
Right.
or something, please.
So you guys start making your way across the district. Now, do you guys do this together or do you guys do this separately?
I don't think we should split the party.
No.
Okay. You guys make your way across, making your way towards the steam bath. While you are all traveling together, can I have everyone make a stealth check for me? You're going and you're trying not to bring too much attention to yourselves.
Remember, DM, I do have the Cloak of Elvenkind as my item.
Yep. So which means you have an advantage on this.
16.
Okay.
23.
33.
Nice.
What'd you roll, Einar?
18?
18?
18.
Oh, poor Theros.
He's attracting attention from the sure just odor.
Oh no, did you actually roll it? Oh no.
If it helps him, if it gives him any bit of a bonus, I mean, Einar is snacking on some of the fish.
So you rolled the best one possible. So as you guys are walking, Theros, you're very, you have that little creeping sensation running down your back. You're walking really, you're speed walking. You're trying not to run. Is just the sheer amount of resistance you're exerting. Unfortunately, you start putting a little bit of too much distance between you and the rest of your allies. You turn a corner, and you accidentally fall into a manhole.
It is not your day.
Which shortly thereafter, as you fall into it, you vanish into the dark below. There's a group of kobolds who are apparently moving the cover back over it, place it down, didn't seem to notice you, and then go on with their lives. As the rest of you turn the corner and Theros has vanished.
I know we're
We will
supposed
come
to be
back
sneaky,
to you, Theros.
but he's very sneaky.
I rolled a 16, and that was horrible.
It's not necessarily about the total value. It was whoever got the lowest.
Oh. That works perfectly then.
So,
All right, you got.
Saren says this like, "Oh, he's really sneaky." I mean, it's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. As I'm like standing on the manhole cover, like looking around where he's at.
Gonna open the manhole cover and it doesn't budge because he's standing on it.
I
They
feel like
weld
he's
this
so
thing?
close. Let me. All right.
I can hear his voice like it was yesterday as Einar just still standing on the manhole cover.
All right. Go ahead and roll again. Those who remain, please roll a stealth check for me.
Nat 20 for 28.
Yep. 20. Even.
23, and my dice size goes up by 1, thankfully.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. While the remaining three of you are traveling along, um, Einar, you draw the attention of a group of guards. However, traveling with them appears to be a tall, dominating figure with a pair of wings, another half dragon. This one a red one. As they
Great.
approach you, halt! Hold up! You
Uh,
there?
Yes.
You're from the islands, aren't you?
Yes.
Half dragon turns to the other two. Go on ahead. The two guards walk away, and as soon as they are around a nearby corner, the dragon grabs you by the hand and says, "Oh my God, I've wanted to meet one of you so long. My dad never lets me outside the city. Sorry, my name is Durin. I am obsessed with the islands. Can you tell me about the islands? I never get to go and visit. I never get to get out of here." And you realize that this half dragon is in fact a fanboy.
Oh no.
And proceeds to pummel you for the foreseeable future with questions about the islands, about the outside world, and he has a very, very firm grip on your hand the entire time.
I mean, I am well traveled because I like to go to new places and try their foods and what I consider food. Um, and so I'll explain all the places that I've been, and then I'll explain the islands, and then start telling them about Damu, like where I grew up, and
Yeah.
he was he born here?
As you ask him questions back, he explains that yes, no, he was born here. He's one of Lysan Crassus's sons. He's one of seven. His mother was Crassus's favorite consort 3 years ago. Not so much nowadays. They expect another brother any day now. And he basically has been confined to the mountain territories for all of his entire life. He has never left the mountains.
I tell him that even though you weren't born there, you can come visit. You just can't live there.
And he seems incredibly excited by this. I would do his voice proper, but I've been sick all week, so my I worry if I try to modulate my voice too much. But no, he literally talks your ear off for a considerable amount of time from going forward. Um, with that said, our last two remaining players. Stealth checks, please.
Nat 20 for 28 again.
40.
What?
All right. Sienna, while this was going on with Einar, you have lost complete track of Caspian. Caspian has just vanished. Um, and you realize you are completely alone in this district. You have an idea where you need to go, but you also start noticing, oh crap, there's some guards over there that are walking my way. Oh crap, there's another pair of guards coming from that way. You start trying to make your way over to some side alleys, trying to avoid them, and over, Um, you're starting to kind of get blocked off. You feel like you were going to get boxed in, and you have this distinct revelation. This is a Dragonborn only district. They are probably going to be speaking Draconic only. This is not going to last very long. um, and for a brief moment, the world muffles, and you see that same figure again. A well-dressed figure with a hooded cloak, face completely obscured, standing across the street from you, carrying a cane. And you can tell that he is watching you. As he looks at you, you see the hood shift in one direction, shift in the other. And then you hear a voice. A voice that almost seems to bypass your ears and go directly to your brain. Not telepathy, but more as if you're not sure how to describe it, almost like it's resonating deeper. As this voice speaks up and says, "Child of the witch, if thou wish to remain unseen, come stand in my shadow and walk with me."
Yeah, I'll do it.
You see on the
Yeah.
ground as his shadow seems to stretch out to the side and become more distinct. You go and you stand in his shadow. You are standing in clear, open area as these guards pass directly by. They don't even give the two of you a second glance. And after a moment, he turns. He offers his hand very gentlemanly. Well, he offers his elbow very gentlemanly to you.
Lock elbows, I think, is the usual thing. Like the promenade stance, I think, is what it's called. Is I'll
And
let him walk with me.
you walk. Uh, John, you get an inspiration for having successfully survived the stealth walk through the Forge District. Uh, as you eventually reach your destination, you pause for a moment. You realize the rest of your allies aren't anywhere nearby.
Oh crap! Where is everybody? Oh no!
Uh, as suddenly out of nowhere, Sienna just seems to materialize out of thin air, and you must
Is
just
it
miss her.
Sienna or that strange red dragonborn
That
lad?
strange red dragonborn that was with you guys earlier just seems to have materialized. You have no idea where Sienna has gone.
Ah, good to see you, lad.
With a little bit of heavy breathing, you hear Einar come around the corner from a different direction. You believe you have managed to successfully lose Durin, as he seemed to continue bombarding your questions, but you were able to finally get your hand away and got away, saying you needed to go use the restroom.
Oh no. I would have stopped it more along the lines of, hey, listen, get me your contact information, and next time I'm going out, you can hop on our ship and we can go.
Absolutely. Wait right here. I'll be right back. Wings spread and he flies off towards the forge.
And I'll genuinely wait.
All right. He returns. You now have the contact information for Duran, third prince of Lyson Crassus. Um, and nearby, you hear a rumbling as a manhole cover is lifted up, slid over to the side. An oozing, grimy brown limb reaches up out of it. As a mysterious sludge monster. Do you guys remember, like, from Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Sokka comes out of the sewers of Ba Sing Se and it's that sludge monster? It's like that, but
I'm thinking from the movie Dogma.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Nevertheless,
Great
Theros,
movie.
you have seen things. Horrible, horrible things.
I can get that on
That was
You
ingenious. Why didn't we think of that to start with?
No. No.
you will never be clean again.
I would
I was
I would like to be done now. I would like to go anywhere but here.
We are going to the bathhouse.
Where's the fish smell? I want the fish smell back. That's. You've never seen a dragonborn dry heave before. You do now. I now have a different breath weapon, projectile vomit.
You now have acid.
I didn't know you were part black dragon.
I didn't know you were black.
I had the breath weapon too. Unfortunately, I have no more left.
Once I
Oh
saw
God,
you do it,
you weren't snacking in there too, were you?
No, it just kind of happened.
I'm not gonna lie. I legit had a D6 table that I made, and you rolled manhole uncovered.
It's good to know that they have indoor plumbing here, though.
It's quite advanced, but it was clogged. It isn't anymore.
Well, there's that one Kinku that goes around talking about the dirty jobs, my crow.
Regardless, you have all successfully met at the backside of the steam bathhouse. And there is indeed a crack in the wall. There is bits of debris and dirt, fresh rock that has been spread out on the ground from something having dug into the city. The crack is made for smaller creatures than such as yourself. It is certainly something that you guys would be able to fit into, but it would be difficult and be a bit of a squeeze.
Would it be easier back in my normal form instead of my dragonborn form?
I mean, you're still a medium-sized creature, correct? Yeah, you'll still be able to go through it. It's just, it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. It was made
I'm
by
sure you can
dwarves.
pinch it off.
Yeah. It was made by dwarves, so it's more of its... Most of the width is a little bit lower. You guys still have some height, but it is... It was not made for comfort. It was made for just efficiently making a way into the city.
Could we squeeze Loaf into there? I can't remember what size the drakes are.
Loaf is already gone.
Loaf ran off to go make cupcakes.
That's right.
And Pints, I believe, is the size small. It would be a tough squeeze for, I believe our biggest characters are Theros and Einar. They would be able to make it. Einar, you might get a couple scrapes on your belly, but that you guys would be able to fit, but it's going to be very, very tight.
I recommend I go last. I don't want to leave any scars.
I mean,
but it would lubricate the tunnel.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's a good idea. I'll forge forward, and I'm going to press through the crack.
All right. So, what is our marching order?
I'm gonna go after Saren. I'm actually gonna suggest if I can send Quinn farther ahead since he's smaller.
Oh yeah,
And all
Quinn
of us,
is,
we could
Quinn
get
is
a heads
easily,
up.
effortlessly able to just kind of coast along the ground. He can easily fly through this. All right.
All right, I'll go before you.
All right. Saren in front, Sienna second, Einar third, and Theros fourth. As you guys make your way into this crack, it is very tight. It is very narrow. It is very crushing on you. But it is something in which you are able to navigate through. You have to, in some areas, you have to crawl. In others, you're able to sort of crouch and stand up. Other areas, they have managed to create little pockets, possibly areas where they took pause to rest. I do need Sienna to make a wisdom saving throw.
Just as long as the walls aren't fleshy and soft, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
18.
18. Sienna, you do feel a touch of panic begin to settle in. you feel that claustrophobia starting to pressure in. Um, and you would think at first that the other people in here would make it worse. But there is almost a sense of comfort knowing that there is someone in front of you who is still moving forward. There is someone behind you who's there to push you forward if need be. And you are able to center yourself. You focus on that idea. I am not alone. It's not like last time. And you are nevertheless able to push forward. And that brings us to this part. Caspian, you in the front will notice this. So the small passage that you are traveling through comes to an end, opens up immediately into a 10-foot drop, but down a smooth, curved wall. As ahead of you, you have made your way into a huge, probably 30-foot wide, rounded tube. One by one, do you proceed?
Oh yeah, I'm going forward.
One by one, you are able to emerge into this space. It is completely dark in here. There is no light. There is no source of light or anything. But you're able to slide down onto the hardened stone beneath your feet. There is dust in here. There is dirt. I would say best person for this, Saren, give me a survival check.
14.
14. You are able to notice by that there is disturbance in the dirt, like in areas that you guys have not yet reached into. That heads leftward from where you guys are coming, leftward from the crack that you have entered into this tube from, and you have a distinct feeling that that is the direction that the dwarves had traveled in.
I'm going to point down at it, and I'm going to do like a hand signal for us to go that way, but I'm not going to speak. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible because I don't know if they're right around the next corner.
Gotcha. Now,
Can
just
I?
as a quick note, who has dark vision?
I do.
One, two. I believe yours we gave was conditional.
Oh yeah, it's underwater.
Yeah, you have dark vision underwater. Your eyes are adjusted for that. So at present, Sienna, do you have dark vision? You do not?
No, but I have my moon blade that I usually use for light because it glows
Okay.
whenever I draw it. So I usually don't need it. I'm just not drawing it yet. I'm hoping I can use Quinn to guide me to where Saren is until
Well, if
it's
Quinn's your familiar,
combat
you
time.
could use its eyes.
Yeah, you can borrow his vision.
Yeah, but I don't want to be blind and stuck and stumble in a manhole and get stuck again.
Luckily, I think we're beneath all the manholes.
The DC for the nature check for that is very, very low. You're able to tell that, this is not a typical manhole covered territory. They usually prefer being in like more cityscapes, typically right under the feet of like carts and things where they'll get in the way, that sort of stuff.
A wild manhole appears.
Then I will use Quinn's sight to guide me through this so I can see a little bit, and then whenever I hear something, I'll get out of it.
All right. So you guys drop down into this tunnel. You guys have a distinct direction of this gigantic lava tube, and you guys are able to start walking in that direction. Some of you borrowing vision, some of you having dark vision. Einar, how are you navigating?
She has her glowy sword, right?
She hasn't drawn it as of yet, correct?
Can Certeros be whispering to Einar? It's like, down, left. You're going to have to crawl here. Squeeze.
Yep. Oh, I
No,
mean, you guys have come
don't make me
into
squeeze.
you guys have come into a lava tube. Like these guys are very round and very smooth. It's probably some of the smoothest traveling you will find in a cave network. So,
I'll
but
just
you
say to
can.
grab the tail in front of you. We all have tails, so I'll just say grab the tail in front of you.
Yeah. Do this
Yeah.
elephant style. All right.
Don't pull
Guys-
that tail too hard.
You guys begin making your way through this lava tube. What is your marching order in here?
In the front.
Same. The same order as before. I would be right behind Saren. Have Quinn in front of Saren.
Okay. And then Theros is taking up the rear with Einar right behind Sienna?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys begin to walk. And you walk. It is the only sound that comes to you is the sound of your own feet crunching on the ground beneath your feet.
Has it been an hour yet?
I would say yeah. As you guys start getting into this, it's anything. If you had anything that was up and running that was lasting for over an hour, or has a duration of an hour, it passes.
So Sienna, the tail sort of melts back in, and you're just grabbing my butt for a second. Whoa. Please control yourself, young man.
And you look back and it's Sienna.
You control yourself too. Where'd he go?
Mysteriously vanished into the dark.
While we're walking,
What an efficient timp that was. I must have the name of his agency.
while we're walking, Sir Theros would like to use his inspiring leader feat and talk to everybody 10 minutes about, tell them, like, we did really well. We snuck in, and it was quite impressive. And we did get lost there for a little bit, but you know what? You know what should be inspiring to all of you? You didn't fall into a sewer.
You don't smell like me.
You don't smell like I do. And it gives everybody 7 temp hit points.
You're right, that does make me feel better. Thank you.
Strangely very effective. Wow. All right. As you guys are continuing down, all you hear is your own footsteps, the crunching of the dirt beneath your feet, a mild crackling noise. Einar, you start noticing that you can start making out the outline of some of your allies. And Sienna as well, in those brief moments where you aren't in Quinn's vision, you start realizing you can see the outline of Caspian in front of you. Vaguely.
It's a very bright coat.
Once again, that's
even Quinn got that inspiration, by the way.
and again, there's that mild crackling sound, almost electrical, like a little, like a static
fire ice
discharge.
or ice fire. Crackle, crackle, crackle.
You guys start realizing that it is actually starting to get lighter in here in the tunnel.
This makes me pretty nervous. We should hurry up.
I'm starting to question why this tunnel's so smooth now as I hurry up a little bit.
Oh, I could tell you absolutely, without a doubt, why this tunnel is so smooth. You see, it's a lava flow. It's a magma flow. This is where all the magma for the area tunnels itself straight and bored straight through the lower temperature bearing rock. This place was filled with lava, and quite regularly, by how smooth it is, removes all impurity through the tube. It's quite fascinating. I don't want to be one of those impurities. Hut hut.
There's a very distinct crackling of light, as almost like a static charge running along the entire walls, pulses past you and continues on down the tunnel.
I don't like this.
I don't like this at all.
I'm a water. I'm a sea dragon. I don't like.
Once again, another pulse.
Yeah.
This one much more resonant. And those of you with keener hearing start hearing a low tone, almost like a vibration, almost like a crystalline tone
That light in front
resonating
of
in the
us.
cave.
That light in front of us. Is it daylight or is it?
It doesn't appear to be daylight. It's like I
Or is
said,
it
it's almost like
sunlight?
there's a pulse moving down the wall. It almost looks like there's static electricity bouncing between stuff that is inside the wall. Almost like there's energy moving on a circuit. Again, another pulse moves down the tunnel.
Are we sure this is the way our quarry has come?
Do I
As
still see the
far
footsteps?
Yeah, you still see the footsteps. You do see, however, it looks like at one point it seems to spread out and become very, very rapid.
I agree with the footsteps. We should run.
Oh no.
The resonance begins to increase, and it is now dim light, and it is growing brighter in this tunnel, but it is not a light of heat. As you guys are walking along, as you guys are starting to pick up pace, you notice now, reflecting in the ground and on the walls and on the ceiling, what looks to be some sort of reflective material. Almost looks like glass.
Obsidian.
Not glass. Quartz. Quartz crystals.
Hmm.
Resonating and almost singing together as electricity runs between them, shooting down this tunnel.
Um, it's the tunnel's going down, right?
It's difficult to tell.
With the way things are. Oh, could I try and make a guess by like the rate that these pulses are increasing?
Hmm.
Because they're getting like more and more frequent, right? It's speeding up.
It's like yeah, like it's starting to speed up, and they begin way behind you and are pushing forward down the tunnel.
Would it be? Would I be able to make like an intelligence check or be able to ascertain with my high intelligence that I have 11 minutes to spare before whatever happens based on the rate of increase?
I would say, and anyone can do this, make either an Arcana, a History, or a Religion check.
Well, I got +6 to history, so
Anyone can make this either as well.
I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Okay.
It doesn't
So
matter.
am
They're all
I.
the same. They're not great.
16.
So you get different information depending upon which one you do.
Oh well, I
I got
got
an
a
8.
natural 20.
What? Okay, hold on. I heard
All right.
18 Sienna, and that was on Arcana. And what'd you get, Brian?
I got a natural 20 plus
Natural
3, so
20.
23.
For which one?
It doesn't matter. A
It
different one.
it determines whichever information you get.
Not Arcana.
Okay. So you have a choice between history and religion.
Go with history, cause yeah.
Okay. Caspian,
I got a nat 1 for a total of 14.
you have no freaking clue what the heck is going on. Oh, gone.
Uh,
Wait, you said 14? Yeah, no, you have no clue what's going on.
it was Arcana, history, and
Arcana, history,
Reli-
or religion.
religion.
So Sienna went with Arcana.
14.
Um, you said 14?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that won't be high enough for either of them. However, the other two, you guys did Arcana and history.
Yes.
Okay. For history, you know from your travels that mountain people have a variety of stories about caution entering empty lava tunnels. And they should not be crossed without leaving an offering at shrines of the crystal worm for protection. And you realize that that statue back in the city was one such shrine. Sienna, Magical teleportation can sometimes generate static discharge. Typically, it's too small to notice anything more than what you might see from a carpet shock. However, if a large object is teleporting or plane shifting, it may induce large discharges leading up to its arrival. And as you guys have these revelations,
Fick.
from the direction you came, a white haze of light is surging down the tunnel towards you. Energy crackles between the fragments and flakes of quartz found in the wall, and a rumble begins to shake the tunnel. Parts of the ceiling crack and begin to fall. Rocks are shot up through the ground beneath you, and a rising, resonating sound of crystal begins to fill the air as a massive serpentine shape begins to fade into existence. Large red eyes focusing on the five of you, or four of you. Sorry, I included myself in that. As Lekate, the primordial god of Earth, manifests in this plane as he traverses one of his roads. You should probably run.
Sprinting.
With that, we are going to go into the skill check challenge.
I can't run.
Everybody's favorite game. As you're running
You're
from
gonna
Lekate,
figure it out, Arnar.
No. I think I've already figured it out.
as you're running from Lekate, you need to make skill checks each turn to avoid basically getting left behind, getting swamped. You guys need to make a certain number of successes before we are done. I'm not going to tell you what number of successes you need to make. Your checks can be any skill or tool check you have. You just got to tell me what that check is, and then we'll roll it. If you use a spell or class ability outside of its normal use, if you make a good case, you can apply it. This might lower the DC. It might give you advantage. We'll see how it goes. You each need to have a certain number of successes to survive. You can choose to forego your skill check to help someone else make theirs. You can use a skill more than once. However, the second time you roll a skill, it is at disadvantage, and you cannot use it a third time. I'm going to emphasize this. If Lekate catches you, you will die. He will run you over and you will become a smear. So don't spend all your checks trying to help your teammates. Make sure that you can survive. And we are going to go in order of your marching order. So, rather fittingly, Caspian, you are up first as this gigantic crystal worm is literally just driving down this tunnel towards you guys. What do you do as you start making a run for it? And to be clear, you got debris and stuff that is falling all around in front of you. Rocks are upshifting. You have your own teammates and stuff.
So Theros was in the rear and Einar was last. Or Einar was second to last.
Second to last.
All right, so I know he's a monk, so I'm going to look back at Theros. I'm going to say, "Get out of here!" And I'm going to cast Vortex Warp, and I'm going to launch him 120 feet in front of me.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to make a check for that one or anything. And then I'm going to run my speed of 35 feet forward.
Okay. No, you start running. You use your action, so whenever it comes to Ray's turn, he's definitely gonna have advantage on whatever check he makes for his round, as you are giving him a big amount of wiggle room. All right, you are booking it. That brings us to Sienna.
I think I'm going to use acrobatics first to kind of dodge and weave out of the way to hopefully, with the dust and everything that Saren is leaving behind as he's running, I can use it to kind of cover me a little bit as I'm like going from dust pile to dust pile that he kicks up.
All right, go ahead and make acrobatics check then for me.
14.
Sorry, what was it?
14.
Okay.
1-4.
All right. Noted. As you are moving amongst these rocks, dodging out of debris, leaping off of some of these rocks, using whatever leverage you can to move forward. That brings us to Einar. What are you doing?
Um,
Also, straight up running is an option. That's just a straight con check.
well, so when we built Einar, Einar can't run because he's so big.
It's up to you how you want that to work out in this situation mechanically. If we're
Um,
doing, you can use skills to be able to get yourself moving. I can impose disadvantage on stuff if you would like.
so this is all right. Could I use persuade like a persuasion check to ask Lacate to let us pass if I speak it in primordial?
I'd say that's definitely a check you can make to for one of your checks. Yeah,
Because I can speak primordial.
yeah. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
All right. What is that? That is a 19 plus persuasion plus 3, so 22.
22. Okay. You as you start following after everyone, you make this plea, speaking in primordial back to the worm, the great primordial serpent. Um, Difficult to read as to whether what effect it may have had, but you feel good about, hey, at least trying to placate him will give us a good movement. Um, that brings us to Theros.
You just saw Saren pull out his pistol and shoot you, and then you woke up
And then
120
suddenly you
feet
were
ahead.
somewhere else.
He's like, oh.
So you have advantage on any check you make for this round.
Um, we'll use perception to see where these shards of the ground are coming up from, so I can quickly dive through.
Go for it.
Advantage. Wow, that advantage came in super clutch. 24.
24. Yeah, you push your vision ahead, seeing where stuff is coming up, predicting it. You're using your sense of feeling kind of where the vibrations are in this tunnel as you make progress. All right, that is round one. Round two. Top of the round, that is you, good Caspian. What you doing?
So, being that now I figure everyone's ahead of me, except Einar, who's being rather, well, his diction is superb right now. I'm going to start running, and I'm going to treat it like I do the O courses when I was in officer school. And so I'm going to be jumping over these things like hurdles. I'll reach down, pick up like a loose rock, and launch it at something as it's flying out. Um, to try and break off a piece so I can dodge by it as it sticks out of the wall. Um, at one point, as something comes flying out, I'll like jump up on it and start doing like the hops to hops kind of Prince of Persia style, but I'd like to use athletics.
Okay, go for it. I love that.
20.
20. All right. And yeah, you do exactly that. It is freaking amazing, awesome. All right. Sienna.
I would like to use my duplicity hex to make a copy of myself, and then use that to kind of like stealth ahead of my duplicate, just so it can like smash the duplicate as I'm running away.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check. I'll say go ahead and make that with advantage. As you're using one of your own abilities to kind of give yourself basically act as a full-on distraction. Yeah, no, that's great.
20.
Okay. All right. No, you definitely feel very distinct that you are, at the least for the moment, you are unnoticed. Einar,
Mhm.
you have made your plea. The worm is still coming towards you, but you can't. But you feel like it might have slowed a bit.
Okay. Is this flat, downhill, or up? Like you can, if you're moving, downhill sucks more than uphill. So which way are we like moving?
So it is. I mean, honestly, it's difficult to gauge. If there is an incline, it is slight.
So it goes slightly up.
It might be going slightly up, might be going slightly down. It's difficult to gauge.
Cool.
What are you thinking? What skill check are you wanting to use?
Well, considering I can't run, I was gonna use some of my breath weapon water and basically do like a penguin belly slide.
Go for it.
But it doesn't work if it's going uphill.
You don't know. Go for it. Give it a shot. For that, because you're using your breath weapon, I would honestly say I'll give you advantage on a Constitution check. I think it's a freaking great idea. Do it.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. On a Constitution, so that's a 22.
22. All right. Yeah, no, so you blast the ground, soak it. It becomes this mud sort of mix, but you know what? At this point, who gives a crap about being clean? You dive into it, you slide, you go rocketing forward on this, using your breath weapon to just kind of generate this muddy trail that you were sliding along. It's freaking great. Um, Theros,
How
you're
far?
up.
How far in front of everybody am I?
You're a healthy distance at this point. Like not horrendously ahead, but you're still able to have them all in sight.
Um,
Yeah, I was first, so he'd be 120 feet in front of all of us.
Oh yeah, no, you'd be way ahead. You see them, you see their silhouettes against the light coming out of this just gigantic, angry crystal worm.
so his mind goes to the days where he was training with the at-home military and guards, where the uh, the training instructors would yell at you and berate you to motivate you to move quicker and faster. So I want to use my intimidation to inspire my friends to move quicker.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intimidation check. I will say if this passes the DC for this, that'll count as your successful check, and if it is better than it by 5, Um, that I will say honestly will give advantage to everyone on this next round for their skill check.
23.
23. All right, noted. With that, we enter round 3. However, as this round begins, there is this cacophonous roar that screams down this tunnel from behind you. Lekate opens this three-jawed maw and just roars as shards of glowing quartz crystal shoot out of his maw towards all of you. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
15.
I would like to, as a reaction, add a D8 to hers, using Tower of Iron Will.
Okay. Go ahead and add that d8.
That is a 19 with the d8.
Okay.
It would have been my roll, and that's a 7, so 3 more. 22.
Okay, so 22. Okay. So Sienna's at a 22. What's everyone else's dexterity saving throw?
28.
Okay.
18.
18 and
25.
25. Everyone passes this. You take half of 25, so you guys all take 12 points of magical piercing damage as this roar just screams out. These shards pierce into you. I also now require everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
How much
This
did-
is a fear effect. However, if you are immune to fear in this circumstance, you are not.
27.
18.
23.
So I rolled a 9, and then I used one of my chaos things to re-roll, and I got a 10.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Sienna, you
As
are
if
terrified.
claustrophobia couldn't get any worse. Now I'd stick a giant worm in it.
You are absolutely terrified and afraid of this giant creature. And it's not just simply a fear of survival. Part of you is aware that this is a divine entity that is coming towards you, that is racing towards you. And you are mortally afraid. You have disadvantage on all of your checks for the rest of this encounter. Thankfully,
Fun.
Theros rolled really well on his check, so it is a straight roll for you when it comes to your turn. Everyone else has advantage on their check for this turn, which brings us to you, good Lord Caspian.
Captain, not a lord, but I appreciate the promotion. So because of Glimpse Future, I can use Seeing on myself as a bonus action. So I want to look into the future. Last round, I had used my training in athletics to start to jump on these things as they came. I would like to gaze slightly into the future and see where they're coming from. And I'd like to do an investigation check to figure out a pattern of these things so I can start jumping to where they're going to be instead of where they are.
All right, that sounds great. Go ahead, make that is with advantage. I'll also add a +2 because you're using a class feature, correct?
I am, yes.
All right.
That's a nat 20 for a 38 plus 2 is a 40.
All right, you definitely
And my
view
dice
this
shrinks.
pattern. You start not like you just see where this is coming. You see the very clear path going forward through all of this to avoid any sort of troubles. And even to where you are dodging some of these shards like within in an inch of them. However, you definitely make your way through this. Sienna, you are up. You are disadvantaged because it is feared. However, you are advantaged this round because of Theros' inspiring words. What you doing?
I am, as an action, going to use Chaos Theory, and pair that with my Never Leave Home Without It to pull out a mirror from my backpack, and then pull out as a free item action, unsheath my Moonblade, and kind of use the mirror and the light from my blade to kind of blind him for a second just so I can get a heads up, and I'm going to use Arcana to manipulate that because I think that's the closest to science as we can get.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
I have just a random question. Bumblebees don't sting, right?
No.
They're gentle typically, yeah.
Okay, because we had one in the basement crawling around. I was gonna bring him out after the game. It's now on my foot.
No, bumblebees are usually pretty gentle. I think they have a stinger, but they almost never sting humans.
Okay.
If it stings you, it dies.
Yeah.
Well, that's all bees, yeah.
I'm just not gonna move.
I told you it's our
Honestly,
new
it's a
pet.
pretty gentle. They're usually really gentle. They actually don't. I don't even think they mind direct contact with people as long as you don't irritate them.
Yeah,
Pretty sure you can pat it.
yeah, it's hanging out. It just jumped from one foot to the other one.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Sienna. What did you roll?
I got a 17 total on the Arcana check.
Okay. All right. With that brings us to Einar.
Oh, Sienna, I
Doing
rolled a
on-
nat 20.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
you get a thing. As a note as well to people, the DC does go up each round.
I love skill checks. I'm so glad you did this.
All
Einar,
right.
pull out some butter.
Einar, you reach the end of your breath weapon as you are sliding along the ground here with it. You are kind of sort of roll back up onto your feet. What you doing? Hey, the bumblebee.
Yeah.
Thinking about bumblebees and keeping it as a pet. Hmm.
Remember, you also have advantage on this round too, thanks to Theros' very inspirational words. This also could be a good round to use a not so good skill.
Oh, so most of them.
I mean, it's your call.
So, um, can I use my perception to see if like there's a little like side tunnel or something like that like I could be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna walk this way to avoid ultimate death.
Sure. I would say circumstances going for this. I would say yes. I will say, however, if you fail this one, you will be at disadvantage on your next one.
Okay. Cool. Cooler. That is a 22.
Okay. 22.
It was gonna be a 16, but
As you are running along, you manage to spot out of the corner of your eye this opening just wide enough that you were able to you kind of turn, redirect your sword stuff, and you pray to Jormungandr that somehow you can fit in this thing as you slam yourself into this side space. And I will say for now you are out of the running.
I wasn't running.
In terms of you are out of the skill check, you have successfully left the skill check.
Yay. I'm out of breath.
Given narrative circumstances, yeah. Um, yeah. With that, that brings us to Theros.
Theros is just going to use his athletics and just bully forward.
Okay. Have you used your athletics yet?
Nope.
No, that was Caspian. All right,
Yeah,
go
I
for
did.
it.
That would be a 15.
A 50. Okay. Noted. So that brings us back to the top of the round. Caspian, you are up. This
So,
worm is getting closer. Is getting closer to you guys.
so I'm going to take a second to stop looking to the future since I'm getting ahead, and I'm going to turn around and look at my companions. I see that Einar's gone. He's
You
dead. And I'm
briefly
going
see.
to, and I can't let that happen to Sienna as well. So I want to jump down to Sienna, and when I do, I want to slap her on the back of the head, and I'm going to cast Heroism.
Okay, so you're using your a spell effect to help her.
I am. It makes you immune to frightened, and you get temp every round. But she looks like she's scared. I heard her whimpering while she was caressing my tail, and then now she's whimpering so loud that I can hear her in the future.
So
And
I will say this just as a point of order. This is a divine fear. This
I
isn't
know.
something that can be cured by a second level spell slot.
I'm aware. I'm
Okay,
I'm just trying to help her, right?
gotcha.
In a way that I can help her. And I go up to her and I slap her. I say, "Get your head in the game. You can do this. You're a hero,
Okay.
damn it."
All right.
And even if it
And yeah,
gives me disadvantage next round because I didn't do anything to get ahead, I'm okay with that.
okay. Noted. So that brings us to Sienna's turn. Sienna, this happens. You would be disadvantaged because of the fear effect. This Caspian Howard's encouragement, though, has made this a straight roll for you. What you doing?
How far are the other people from me?
Caspian is now directly in front of you. Theros is ways ahead. Einar, you briefly saw out of the corner of your eye him disappear into the side pocket. You don't know if he's made it or not, but that is what has happened.
Okay, I would like to. I think I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud a little bit behind me to give me some cover, and I think I want to use maybe we'll try history to see if I know anything about this thing to see if this thing could see through it or not. Like some dragons have blind sight or blind sense. See if maybe if I've heard of the if divine beings can see through things like this, and if this would work at all.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check.
The 16, but I think I am going to re-roll it and see what happens.
Okay.
Nope, it's worse. Then I don't know if I can spend another one.
Okay. Do you want to? Do you have points to spend another one, and do you want to do it?
Oh
Or
yeah, no, I have a ton of points because they keep
okay.
rolling nat 20s like crazy. I just I didn't know if I could.
Okay, so our final roll is
19.
19. Okay. Okay. Um, you start racking your head, going through what you know of your mother's tome. Um, you cast this spell behind you to just partially to try and see if you can block its vision. Alternatively, just to give you a moment, a breather, just to be able to not see it, almost like you're pretending that it's not there for the briefest moment, to at least obscure your own vision. Um, and you are able to have some sense of clarity in this moment. Um, you you don't know as to whether or not it would necessarily stop it in its tracks or slow it down, or if it can't see through the fog cloud, but you blocking that from your mind, you're able to at least get some clarity of direction, and you're able to focus yourself back into the game here. Um, Einar, as you have carefully tucked yourself away in this one side alcove, you can feel the heat behind you as you hear that resonance, that deafening sound racing by behind you. The crystalline, um, this crystalline creature zooming by your alcove. The heat, the mild high-speed scrapes. You feel cuts digging into your back from jutting crystals that are jutting out of its body that are scraping by you. You feel something, but you're not sure what. Um, with that, we come to Theros. Theros, what are you doing?
I'm pretty good distance ahead, right?
You're a good distance ahead, but this thing is gaining speed. It is gaining on you guys very, very quickly.
All right. How far ahead of my of Caspian and Sienna am I? Would you say roughly?
You, I mean, quite a. I would say at least what you dropped back, Caspian. Uh,
I did to catch up to Sienna, but effectively we were all moved. We were moving the same speed, so he's still like 120 feet ahead of us.
yeah, you're still a ways ahead. Mechanically speaking, this is more specifically about just the skill checks in particular.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could tell from this distance that Sienna was worried or scared or.
I mean, it was a deep resonant. I mean, you felt that tickle in yourself, but you you worship in your mind a much more terrifying god.
The, the sun. um, because the thought was to use persuasion to convince Santa just to drop and run. But I don't know if that would beat the divine fear.
Hmm. Well, also in that regards too, that would be more of an aid effect. That
Yeah,
would be more you helping someone else. That's not necessarily a skill check that would be garnering your own success. You'd be giving her advantage,
yeah,
if that was successful.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking because I've got a bit of a lead here, and I mean they are closer to impending maw of death and doom than I am.
Again, just keep in mind that this is about successful skill checks, not necessarily distance.
Yeah. Um,
I just want to make
I,
sure that
I,
no one is being deceived by that mechanic. It's not about distance; it's about
yeah,
a skill
yeah.
check.
Well, I'm also looking at my numbers, and that's one of my better rolls. So better pluses. So um, I'm gonna use it to aid Sienna. I'm gonna use persuasion to convince her to just run. That's all you can do is run. Don't worry about the death behind you. Look forward to the freedom in front of you.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Ooh, very nice. 21.
21. Okay, and that brings an end to round 4. Round 5. The resonance from this gigantic serpent is loud. It's almost deafening. You can barely hear your own breathing. Your own thoughts seem to be getting muddled. Caspian, you start this round.
So I had. I'm coming in clear, right? I had to change my headphone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
good. So I had focused and used my athletics beforehand to use this as an obstacle course. And then after that, I got an insight by looking into the future. I took a pause, breaking my concentration of the future to help my allies so that she didn't get overwhelmed with something that was troubling her. But now I want to get back into the game. So I'm going to look around and find the best path. I'd like to use perception for that.
Go for it. And just as a reminder to everyone, this is the highest. The DC again keeps going up each round.
I got a 20,
Okay.
and my dice goes up a size.
A natural 20 or just 20?
Dirty 20.
Okay. Sienna. Sorry, my voice is starting to vanish on me, so I'm trying to keep the description short.
You're good. I think, given actually kind of plays well to what I was gonna do. I was gonna use a performance check, given my background with that certain acting group, to pretend to be as brave as Theros would be right now, and just use performance to act like Theros, act like Theros. He's not scared. We can do it. It's okay. Just act like Theros, and just that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You get yourself in the mindset of Theros. Go ahead and make a. I'm assuming this is a performance check, right? All right. This is would be a disadvantage. Straight roll, thank because Theros helped you out. So go ahead and make that roll.
23.
23. Okay, yeah, no, you are definitely. You get into the mindset. You get into the mind. You part of you almost starts to crouch. And you almost look like you're about to go running on all fours like a lion. And you realize, no, he doesn't do that, and stand straight back up. And you continue on your way. Einar is chilling way back down the tunnel. Theros.
I see them both move in my direction, and just gonna run.
Are you just doing cardio?
Yep, just cardio.
Okay, go ahead and give me a constitution check.
Just that would be 16.
16. All right. So, the resonance is deafening. You feel the vibration moving through your very bones, the very calcium of your own body, your blood vessels. Everything begins to resonate. Sienna, in amidst your dodging, amidst your weaving, you have managed to pull yourself over to one side, and you see very clearly this opening in the wall, a very clear crevasse, and you see your opportunity to escape. However, Caspian, you are clear on the other side of the tunnel from where she sees this as she vanishes over into the side. Theros, you overran it. And Sienna, as you dodge into this tunnel, you hear a sudden scream and the surge as you look behind you as the crystalline form that goes rushing by through the opening that you can see into this lava tube suddenly accelerates, going faster and faster, doubling, tripling, quadrupling its speed, becoming almost like a just a streak of light, and then darkness as both Theros and Caspian are smeared. And we'll pick up next week. In the meantime, I would love to continue, but we got a nice, good. I feel like that's a good place to end, and my voice is vanishing on me. So, with that, we are going to end tonight's game there. If you liked what you saw, please come back next week and find out exactly what happens with the rest of this mini series story. Um, at that, Einar and Sienna. Actually, everyone, I would like you to do this. Somewhere on your character sheet, I would like you to write down um, in an area where you can add on to it um, Fable. For Sienna and Einar, under that, I want you to write Met God and Lived. As you guys begin to write your Fable. But with that, we are going to end things here tonight. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good night.